So they'll be calling you a radical. This is real important. My blood? Oh yeah, you don't even know. You don't even know. Went into the bone marrow transplant on 11/11/11. This is real important. To the HBO documentary film crew. You know, I got to see it a year ago. I knew it. It was everything then some. It's historically accurate as hell, and it's pretty ironic that the Washington Post comes out against it. Calls it fantasy. Look up Jeff Bezos' father. Jeff Bezos' father, just Google it. Nuclear physicist at Los Alamos. And so, it's getting ready to happen. So when it happened here in the United States, it was the 25th. How do I know? That day, I was in the hospital watching my youngest child be born. It was 4:24 on 4/25 on 4/26/1986. Remember how far they're ahead of us. This is important. I'll do an extra one too. I'm going to do one at 4/24. I don't give a fuck. I mean, you can deny my work. I don't care. You know? Best thrift store, $5 I ever spent. What do we got in here? Oh, your fucking soup can. Make sure you got that on it. 4/24. I imported cheese from Switzerland where they still use the bell. My juice, as I work with a dietitian. This is the most important thing that's in my bag. There it is. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1:24 after midnight. It's real. It's real. Get your pen out and autograph it, Kevin. I have to sell it. Looks that way. Thank you, everybody who has supported this historic work. So, one thing I want to say to the producer, not to the people that worked on it, he goes into this narrative somehow that this was just, you know, the old Soviet Union was the problem, them cheating. There's how many reactors still in that part of the world still running on this technology? Where do you think they got the technology? Where do you think they got the technology? And by the way, Gorbachev was probably the most anti-nuke person in human history. He tried to go all the way with Reagan. Remember Nancy and Nancy Reagan, it's important. Funeral was on the 5th anniversary of Fukushima. How do I know I was there? That's real. So they all betrayed us. Why? In 1986, after this happened through the IAEA, the lies. How can you not connect these fucking dots, Chernobyl with Fukushima? In the United States. The reactor that blew up at Fukushima, the multiple reactors that blew up, that is fucking thousands of Chernobyls. 3 full blown out reactors, not to mention force, and I talk about 5 and 6. They blew up too. They all blew up. Research reactors full of MOX fuel. Millions of freaking Chernobyls. They tried, I mean, they had miners, oh yeah, they've had, you name it, they've had it in there. They just don't tell you. Hasn't worked. They never got to the cores. They pushed the cores in the Pacific Ocean. Got big, that massive. All these people that rode our backs. The Mach 1, Mach 2 GE reactor, and the thumbnail that I posted is inside that building, our Science and Technology building, which was my 8th grade history teacher at Walquist Junior High. I was there. That's real. That's real. That's real. How do you think I used to sneak into concerts all the time? I always wonder what the script says. It's one thing you should know. All you anti-nuclear energy, All of you. Springsteen, down by the refinery. All of them. I mean, I go A to Z. The only one that's even kept in the fight a little bit is Graham Nash. He sat by me at the other peace events. You betrayed us. The Mach 1, Mach 2 that blew up, way worse than Chernobyl. Gee, there's 42 of them in the United States. You heard me, 42. TikTok, San Onofre, Diablo, 9 Mile Point, 3 Mile Point. What about 3 Mile Island? Didn't that fucker blow up? What about Indian Point? Miami-Dade doesn't have any containment freaking cooler towers. It's a canal. So when you go in this innuendo, I love it. You got the, at least you've got the Russian mouse, Disney. They're all Bavarian Nazis, all of them. Bavarian Nazis, they're all Jews, Jewish. Jew fighting Jews, so is Hitler. Semitic, this has nothing to do with any of it. How about who killed Jesus? Jews. Jesus was a Jew? Yep. How about these guys? How about Einstein, who fought tooth and nail this prick? Einstein fought him tooth and nail in Long Island. That's Leo. Einstein at the end of his life. He's the one that talked freaking Einstein and writing a letter to FDR that turned on the faucet of the freaking Manhattan Project. The technology that was at Chernobyl was these guys. Developed here. Manhattan Project. United States. Who's the one that dropped the bomb? Sokolov? He won a real Nobel Prize. Oh, we did. Here. Operation Paperclip on chemo. You gonna sell it, Kev? How can you go into innuendo and say this was a communist? It's militarism over there. The same thing we have here. Step out of line. I can prove this. I'm in the bone marrow transplant dying of AML leukemia. Ode to John Havlicek. And I'll go into that. John Havlicek, the great, what an athlete. Made less than 3 times the average working class American. Now these billionaire athletes. By the way, JoJo White spent 2 years in Vietnam. He was in the Marines. Can you imagine anybody doing that now? The Admiral, he served a tour. David Robinson. Can you imagine him doing, well, why would they? Look what they did to Pat, I am Pat fucking Tillman. Billionaires, and you worship them. Can't even go to, this is real important. So Obama stands. Never forget Obama's responsible for the cover-up of Fukushima. The buck stops where? Trump's even worse, is his handoff to a bee, kissing cousins. What do you think that's all about? I'll write a book, lots of books. Got no money, got no time. TikTok, Diablo Canyon clock. There's 42 of these reactors in the United States that blew up. Wasn't a tsunami, the crack. How about San Onofre? The whistleblowers in San Onofre that were coming to me, to this day are hiding. You think, oh, they'll kill you like this guy inside Chernobyl? What do you think they'll do here in the United States? Go talk to them. Well, they won't talk to you. They won't even show who they are. They're afraid. They came to me. The only reason I was able to do it is because I had a central line hanging on my jugular line. I was in the bone marrow transplant center. I went in on 11/11/11. You can't make that up. Given 2 months to live. They were sending me stuff. They had a scram. Do you know what a scram is? You know how many scrams where you got to push the button like they did over there? You know how many times that's happened in the United States? A lot. A lot. Recently. We've had, oh, no meltdowns? What do you think happened to San Onofre? By the way, the hot reactors parked the Energy Solutions Utah dump site, and these are the rats that let it in. I know Stuart personally. I know a lot of these rats personally. Can't even open up the thing. They're all stuck together. That's my blood. Literally. My father nuked to death in Nevada test site. So, it's like politically correct. I'm so sick of that shit. Fucking left. So Obama, he's with one of the most disgusting, creepy bastards who ever walked. Adam Silver. You can't even go to an NBA game. They've taken it out. You ought to see my grandsons play. They'll see me still play. They can't go to a game. You price the children out. It's become this elitist thing. Obama stands up in Toronto. Now this is real important. Canada, the great weasel nation. Now why is Canada called the great? Not my words, that's the UN, IEA. That's ICANN. They all call them. The international community calls Canada the great weasel nation when it comes to nuclear. That's what they're called. Why? Same with Australia. Why? Because they claim they're anti-nuclear. We're getting reactor and they're so nuclear it's unbelievable. Because nuclear energy or nuclear, but where does all the uranium come from? So, never forget this. Obama stands there, standing ovation by the hypocrite, well-petter, freaking greenwashing, who never did get on Fukushima. He stands there, standing ovation. This is the guy who killed you. The buck stops. I have the transcript inside the Situation Room. He covered it up. He cowered down to John Holden like a third-grade girl. Standing ovation. They scored 59 points in the first quarter of Game 1, 59 points in the second quarter of Game 2, 59 points in the third quarter of Game 3. Toronto's going to win this series. You want to bet? They ain't going to win another fucking game. Because Obama stood up. As soon as he stood up, went over there, you know, NBA record. You know, Toronto, the start of the third quarter, never scored a point the entire first half. That's an eighth of the game, the first half of the third quarter. Just like they set a scale on the IEA in Vienna. Oh, Fukushima's only a 7. Chernobyl's only a 7. Think about that, setting the scale from 1 to 7. That's the worst. Who sets a scale 1 to 7? That's malice by inception. Nuked my father to death in a cage. The Pendleton Marine murdered him. So I was with Annika, as you know, my Ukrainian girl. Remember one time, because she was all that then some. All these people, oh, they're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Who's this with you, Kevin? That's my chick. Guys, oh, you can't call her that. You can't call her. She'd say, why the fuck can't he? I am his chick, and he's my dick. Dada? I use Dada because Dada is an anti-war, anti-nuclear, anti-freaking imperialism. Why would the Washington Post, the New York Times, RT, all of them come out per base? I've been interviewed so many times on RT one. I'm the guy who started the Million Mass March, but they put up these second because they know they're afraid of me. Because they're pro-nuclear energy, they're imperialists. They're back. Why would they all discredit this? A to Z. How'd they do it? One by Jetstream, two by cable TV. They're all related. Trump's over there. Trump's related to the Queen. So is Hillary related to him. They're all related. The bleeders. Remember the bleeders? Remember? You know, Trump's a bleeder. He has the big blotches like the royals have. The big ugly blotch. Even on his, it's for real. The orange makeup, the hair, he's one of them. Remember, we all knew that same old thing, 1916? No, same old thing, 1815. I was in Freedom Mazabla's house on the 200th anniversary water. They called in their Russian cousins. Prince Harry, fucking the Prussian royal family, they're Bavarian Nazis, the English royal family, so the Saudis, the kingdom, the beheaders, the 9/11 terrorists, not my words, Trump's. Huh. All from the same place, all of them. They all died in La Jolla, by the way. Kevin Blanche training in the La Jolla training facility. How the fuck can you go into innuendo and say, oh, the Russians, they just cheated cheaper? What do you think they do here, some fuckers? Ha! TikTok, oh, we already had one. 3 Mile Island, St. Alfred, Hanford, Westlake. I won't stop there. TikTok in New York City, $7.6 billion bailout you gave them. For these old fucking worn out, tired dudes. You're gonna get one. You're gonna get a meltdown there. Mark my words. Oh, we're too busy. Status King Cuomo just handed it. Oh, we didn't know. We didn't vote. Same in Ohio. I went back to my city, and my city was fucking gone. Oh, it's going to be gone. Ha! From A in Michigan. Jeff Bezos' real father. Just Google it. I made a Freudian slip when I said the Washington Post. I was talking about the New York Post. Even they can't even get creative anymore. Scientists are mystified. They're stumped. They're puzzled. Fukushima is the greatest ecological disaster in fucking history of the earth. It's thousands of Chernobyls, hundreds of thousands. Gee, Mach 1, 2, we have 42 of them here. TikTok, lessons learned. Oh, we're gonna put vents on it. They never put anything on it. They didn't do anything. It's like in Russia, they didn't do anything. When I say this is he committed suicide, 2 years. 1988, what a year, huh? I don't believe what I just saw. My friend who I grew up playing baseball with, Glenn Hubbard, was playing second base for the A's. And what's that? Jack Buck to Fox News rolls into town. I'll never forget it. Everybody freaking out. My world, in my circle, we're all freaking out. Fox News just bought up the contract to show baseball to not show baseball. One of by Jetstream, two by K. Who owns all the media? British? They're not English. Trump's talking to his own bloodlines, the bleeders. The Russians, you think they paid a price? You know anything about the Russian famine? You know anything about fucking World War I, World War II? 28 million fucking men. You know, they say, well, at the end, so perfect in front of the Russian Walt Disney, fucking Bavarian Nazi, fucking, they're all Jewish. Yeah, so was Jesus. Jews killed him. So was Einstein. He stood up to him. So was Oppenheimer. He stood up to him. Oh, he must be a commie. All of them. Warhola, Sedgwick. Belong with the winning team has nothing to do with it. When's one of you gonna break fucking ranks? You're not gonna. You're gonna die. I've been using Stevie Nicks song, Lay Me Down in the Tall Grass and Let Me Do My Stuff. I got my turn. Still in the fight. Chest split open. Ode to John Havlicek. What a fucking player. Basketball was so much better then. You could take your kids. I had season tickets first year Jazz was here. $140 for the year. Fuck Ricky Green, fastest of them all. Fucking Big Mark Eaton, the mechanic. Bart Starr just passed away. He taught school in the off season. These guys are billionaire fucking celebrities. Adam Silver, standing with Obama. Remember, that probably, you want to talk the Obama curse? He's a plague from hell. So is Trump. Bush, it's all started in 2000 with the theft of the election? No. 1986? Oh yeah. How are all these guys anti-nuclear energy? How were they? And then they just turned? They just turned. Remember I did the video about Petty? I didn't know 3 brothers died, and I ripped up all his shit, you phony motherfucker, and I threw his shit. I felt bad he's died. I listened to the 911 call. So, of course, they're in Ooh, Malibu, don't come near me, I radiate, where they're all at. Laurel Canyon on chemo. Hijacked. He used to have nuclear reactors with a native chief on his logos. He sold us out down the river, they all did. Carole King lives up here now. She wants to be a queen right next to INL. She doesn't know. She's going to get cancer and die. They're all going to get cancer and fucking die. I ain't going to miss you when you go. Just lay me down in the tall grass and let me do my stuff. They're all getting older now. You sold us down the river. You're fucking sell-off whores, all of you. Warhol called it out. On back to the Velvet Underground. Phony Long Island fuckheads. That's where he went to Long Island, to Einstein. Einstein at the end of his life. Such a hardcore anti-nuclear peace activist, Einstein. Worst mistake of my life was letting Leo talk me in. The same people that were gassing him on the fields in freaking Germany, saying, oh, we're humanitarians. This will speed up the war. That's what they said the same thing about the bombs. It's our bomber. So I got to get to Vienna. I got a lot of work done. You know, I've got to have the money. You know. Downward road. Video 424, I'll sign it again so you can see more. Chernobyl happened here at 424, on 425, on 426. Remember, data, data. What does it mean in Ukraine? Yes, yes. What's with the soup can? You gotta ask. Thank you, HBO. New York Times, Washington Post, RT, all discrediting. It's so historically accurate, it's incredibly historical. We were all told. So the lies of Chernobyl, the lies of Fukushima, they go after me and attack me, you were told. I told you. Every day. For 3,008 fucking days. We'll quote her. The star of the movie, the real person. Before Fukushima happened. The worst thing that came out of that meltdown in Chernobyl, she said this for years. Was not cesium, was not iodine, was not even plutonium. Not even a bunch of fucking Canadian free radicals. It was lies. The meltdowns at Fukushima, tell me lies, tell me big fat fucking nuclear fucking lies. Bowling for Indian Point. Bowling for... I went back to my city was gone. How about in Illinois? You build them out. How about Savannah River? How about in Georgia? Keep building them. You build them out. Or you're bowling. Think about the progression. Chernobyl, Fukushima, TikTok, Diablo Canyon, 3 Mile Island, New York City clock. It's going to happen. Sadly, it's going to happen. Don't complain to me. Where are you going to run and hide? I'm going to seek political asylum in freaking Austria. What about your grandkids when they try to take them with me? They have to get out of here. Or they kill me. Because they've literally been trying to do it. I have proof now. You think it's threatening to stand up to them like they did? You don't know my path. You have no clue about I was a millionaire, I was fucking famous professor, I was famous a lot of things. They fucking just hide fucking trolls and fucking, I mean, they slandered me. Even Reddit's got something else slandering me. When I'm the guy who fucking defended Aaron Swartz, guy at Reddit don't get it. They co-opted and stole that. They stole everything. Stay in tune.